Hey, hey, welcome back. All right, Saggies, welcome. April O'Neil, great to see you twice in one day, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. All right, so let's get into this. Much awaited. I have 3 zodiacs still to do a Lions Gate portal video for. I'm sorry, I had to kind of get to you guys when I could schedule it. And so, Sag, drum roll, here we go. So, of course, Lionsgate portal is today. This is the time where in ancient Egypt, they looked at the rising of the dog star Sirius as a wonderful fertile time because it oftentimes coincided with the swelling and flooding of the river Nile, which brought fertility to the land. So very positive, very prosperous time. Numerically speaking, this is really fun because, of course, we've got, the duplicate numbers, but in fact, we have triplicate numbers because not only is it 8-8 today, but also this is the year 2024, which adds up to an 8. Fun side note, I happen to turn 44 this month, so not today, but this month. And so I always feel like, another 8 factored in here. So just FYI, Saggies, I will be going live somewhere probably toward the end of the month. Keep your notification bells turned on. I'll be doing some giveaways and card pulls for my subscribers on this channel and on Tarot Dog. If you're one of my members, you know we're doing something special tonight. So I'll see you guys there later on in a couple hours. But just FYI, now you know. So in honor of the fact that this is an alignment and a time of great prosperity, and specifically that tip of the hat to the Egyptian culture, I chose to go with some Egyptian decks. And I did a pre-shuffle because in this deck, there's a lot of historical figures, and sometimes the different gods of the Greek pantheon show up, and I have to read up on those for you first. What we ended up with, the overarching message, because I think of this like a threshold, like a change, an opportunity to alter the way a character is doing things. So Sag's card is super positive, first off. It is the 6 of Wands, or in this deck, they call it the 6 of Scepters. And what we see here is this woman who is riding in on the Hapis, or the bull, who is considered to be like a reincarnation of the god of fertility and power, known as Ptah. Now, he holds between his horns here the eye of Ra, and then flying overhead, we have the falcon god Horus coming, that will soon light on the head of this. So basically, we have like 3 gods stacked on top of each other if we want to see it in that light. With that in mind, this is superpower. This is a supercharged like portal or energy gate. So this says Sag should probably walk with their head really high today. They're very blessed today. They have a lot of support around them today. They have a lot of confidence at their disposal today. I'm thinking of that Paul Simon song, Born at the Right Time. I think that the album is Rhythm of the Saints, that song comes from. Let's take a look at whatever the kind of like celestial energy is that is surrounding Sag during this 8-8 portal. And I don't look at it as just this snapshot in time, but kind of like what that means as we pass through this threshold, through this portal. Caniculus. Okay, so the rabbit. So Caniculus constellation represents the simple pleasures of life, defining what it means to be human. Caniculi are sensual, sociable, prolific, but a bit devious in superficial matters. So we have the bunny. We have that, again, big sign of fertility. Same with the god Ptah. So we have, this could be a very fertile time, a very good time for good loving, for fun, playful, socializing, a good time to, I'll say, instead of build a bear, create a mate. Okay. I feel like maybe Sag could connect to somebody really easily right now. The overarching message here is belief. What each of us believes is up to us, but life is impossible without believing in something. That's just a nice overarching message. It doesn't necessarily deal with the kind of sensual power and the fun-loving, joyful energy, but this speaks of a character that could be both lighthearted right now and very profound. This is more like a general philosophy. So I think that our Sag, although they could be entering into a time frame where they're going to feel more empowered, they're going to laugh easier, they're going to have more fun, they're going to have more flirtation, they might really enjoy the sensual side of life, partnering with someone, having romance, having passion with a mate, or perhaps, going into the dating scene and finding multiple mates that would be of interest to explore. There still is this overarching governing energy of Sag still wanting to believe in something, which of course now I'm thinking of that rock song, Give Me Something to Believe in. I don't know. I feel like this is a great balance between fun loving, joyful, it's like we're here for a short time and a good time, not necessarily a long time. And yet, even if we hold to that perspective, so it makes us really like, carpe diem, take a hold of the day and live your best life, and, walk with your head up and be powerful and have a good time. Still, it's not nihilism. It's not like, well, nothing matters, so I can do whatever because we're not here very long. Not at all. In fact, I really like this balance of, it kind of feels like a joyful, very present kind of energy for Sag. We have the Death card and the Star. Okay, so I would definitely say that the days of Sag having to like toil and thinking of life and even love as like a burden or something they have to work through. Oh, relationships are going to be hard. Oh, making money and, using our energy in this lifetime, it's kind of a grind. Those thought processes are about to be replaced by a real sense of, well, transformation for sure. But I feel like there's some awesome change happening in Sagi's life. Now, they may start to see some of their hopes, wishes, goals, and dreams become much more accessible. The reason I'm covering her is because she has no clothing on. And I would say one of the reasons that Sag might be starting to see things that they would like to have happen in their life actually materialize is because they have kind of like been brave enough to lay themselves bare and say, you know what, I'm going to trust that, whatever, God's got me. Or remember, we have 3 gods on this card from the Egyptian pantheon being represented. I kind of feel like there's this real trust in the universe. And the more Sag just lays themselves open to that and says, you know what, I trust that instead of stressing out and worrying about things, I actually trust it's going to work out okay. I trust that I can have things happen for me, the things that are meant for me. And that's not just lip service, that saying like, what is meant for me will not pass me by. It's easy to say that, and especially we tell ourselves that when something sad has happened or we've lost something, we're trying to remind ourselves that don't get discouraged. If it's meant to be ours, it'll come back. Or, we tell ourselves that usually at sad moments in time. The difference is Sag is saying this at a happy moment in time. And they're actually not just saying it. They actually believe that mantra because they've already seen evidence of it being true. There's a real strong belief that I think Sag is being able to fully embrace. That's the biggest message, as how the 8-8 portal is hitting them. They have found something to believe in, and it is the fact that there is something divine around them, supporting them, making their life better, allowing them to live a good quality life and enjoy the people around them and the romances around them and the opportunities that are around them. There's going to be, I think, a lot of really beautiful little wins and maybe some very big wins that come into Sagi's life at this point. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you guys. I'll say hi more properly at the end. I got Ace of Pentacles, a lot of new energy coming in. I will still say that this begins with, it feels very much like a rebirth, especially considering that we have that Scorpio death card here. And by the way, of course, Aquarius on the star card. But I would say this almost feels like somebody who's been, I'll use the word baptized because it's in my head. But I personally am not a religious person, although I have been baptized a couple different times because good friends of mine liked baptismals and it made them feel good to baptize me, and I was all right with it. It made them real happy. I personally believe a little differently, but I still, I think that's sweet. I think they did it out of love for me. They cared about me, and I understood that, even though it didn't have the same significance for me. But I thought it was kind of them to care so much. But I only mention that because to me, I can always have my own opinion about any situation on earth. And I think that that's true maybe of this character also. They can use the same language, but have slightly different meanings. They can experience a belief in something, and what it means to them is unique. Remember, it's about one's own belief system. And I think this Sag, I say this a lot with Sag stories. I think this Sag is a pretty unique character. Their spin on things, the way they view something. So if they have been reborn again or baptized again, the only reason I mention it and try to describe how I could perceive it in a non-religious context, even though admittedly we have a huge amount of religious context in this, it's because I don't know that that part necessarily would mean the same thing for different people. So the belief system is still what one person believes. It may happen to fall under like a header of a religious belief system, but then again, it may not. It may just be Saggy's version of their belief system. So I'll use the word baptism. I'll use the word like reborn, but just know it could mean many different things. That concept, though, is still the same. I think Sag feels like this is like they have a chance at life, to live their life, to have all this success, as if they're like a newborn baby, as if obstacles and guilt and things like that have been washed away, and they really feel refreshed. This is a very momentous 8-8 portal for our Sag. This is really, really lovely. We have a Queen of Wands, and they are one of the beautiful things is that I think they're going to be like blessing other people with their energy and their gifts as well. I feel like Sag is really of a mindset that they know that they have a lot of worth now. They believe that kind of the universe loves them. They have a lot of gratitude for their life, and they actually are also of the mindset that they have things that they can share with others, that they can gift to others. I feel like the Sag is in a very benevolent energy. Some of their hopes, wishes, and dreams are going to start coming true, but they're also going to be like, sharing with others. That song by Tim McGraw, Always Stay Humble and Kind. Love that song. That is in my mind right now, because in it there's some line about, and like, remember to turn around and hold out your hand to others. It's like when you make it in life, remember to turn around, and there's other people behind you still struggling. So reach out a hand and help bring them with you into success. Sag, if they are going to be able to start a business or start something of their own that they've always wanted, they could become someone who's really good at like giving other people chances, to work for them and really help support them in their dreams. They could be really benevolent, really strong in being a voice to help other people believe in, that positive energy of growth, and kind of an advocate for better things in life, and trusting that there's better out there for us. Oh, it feels a little bit like, what is that saying, stand up and testify. It feels a little bit like, I don't want to say evangelical, but anyone who gets excited about something that is positive, that's become true for them, and they've seen it work in their life, I think anybody will want to share that positive energy. And then, it's not to convert people to their way of thinking, but it's very much Sag wants to help others now. And they have a lot to offer others. And they know that their life is turning a corner after this 8-8 porticle. That's the new word. After the 8-8 porticle, they come up with a whole new dictionary. Go Sag. We got a 4 of Cups. There is one thing that I think lingers, and that one thing that lingers could be any kind of illusion. And I'm going to say this. I think that the illusion that Sag has like totally cracked through is the illusion that dreams can't come true, and that, we can't possibly have success, or we can't possibly rise, or we can't ever have a fresh beginning. I mean, maybe Sag made some mistakes in their life, and they actually feel forgiven, and they actually feel like they have another chance at life. That could also be a part of this story. But I will say that they are definitely sharing that good vibe with others. They are very empowered after this. And I just love the fact that everything in their life feels so much more joyful, a little bit effortless even. And a lot of it has to do with that first card. They feel like loved by the universe. And that is making them be able to perceive that they could have a loving relationship with others. They're more lighthearted. Life doesn't feel like such a drag, to put it simply. Really strong, really beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I loved this one. That was a pleasure to get to read that one. Thank you again for those hearts, April O'Neill, you sweetheart. Hi, Lauren, San Juanita. Always great to see you, hun. Nova888. Hi. Walking Nat. Good to see you, darling. Hey, Rach. Slave Princess. Chevy Gray Tiny Tim, excuse me. I love it. Shirley, good to see you, honey. My pleasure. All right, you guys, lots of love. I will see you guys in the next one. I'll do another Sag reading, of course, somewhere between now and the weekend. But I'm going to bounce on over. We still got to get through Gemini, and I owe Aries a story as well. So I'll see you guys in those two next, and today's topic. And then later on tonight, I'll be over in the members corner. Sherry, thank you for popping by, hun. Bye, guys.